All right, it's Gregory here with the District 2 Sports Podcast, and we have a special episode for you today. We have a good one with LCA Bulldogs basketball. We're moving on to basketball season. Football is just about over. We have the state championships on Saturday, but we're getting into the basketball season, and we have our first high school interview here. We have Coach Matthew Klein and star player there, Jisaiah Bryant, for the LCA Bulldogs. Really good interview. We're going to talk about last year, talk about a little bit of the off season, and get into this year's schedule with Jay and Coach Klein. The LCA Bulldogs, they have a lot to look forward to this year. A lot of expectations. They're number 3 in the District 2 sports poll, our own poll. Number 4, I believe, in the coaches poll there, and maybe number 5 in the VHSL Matthew Hatfield poll. I could have this backwards, but yeah, the Bulldogs have a lot of good talent there. A bunch of juniors. Jay Bryant's a senior there. A couple sophomores: Luke Tomlin, Trey Smith, Michael Chestnut, Colton Davis, and you'll hear about more about them in the interview. Expectations are high this year for the Bulldogs. Coach Klein talks about that as well. My first question goes back to last year. We watched the Bulldogs 20-6 overall. I made a little run through the Class 3C region playoffs there. I think they made the region semifinals, lost by 1 point to Western Albemarle. Had a chance to go play against Spotswood for that region championship. Everything looked good. We saw the bracket layout, and we thought that LCA had a chance to make it to that region championship and make it to the state tournament, but came up just short. Western Albemarle is a team that they're playing this year as well. Played them already. Lost by a few points there at Western Albemarle, and looking to get the return trip home, but with the snow, it's been tough. They did get a win over New Covenant, who was previously the destination where Coach Klein was. It's nice to see them get a 14-point win back in that gym where he used to coach at. So good on them. But yeah, my first question for Coach Klein and Jay will be about last year. Just kind of get their thoughts on not only that region run, but just kind of overall just what they thought when they saw. So that would be our first question to lead them off.
Obviously, still, it was our first year together, and we're still kind of learning each other through the process. I felt good that where we were at the end of the year, really playing good ball. I think our first, definitely against Rocktown, we were playing, unselfish, playing the type of defense that I'm trying to instill in our program. Went into Wilson Memorial really confident, and you guys were more confident than I was, but we figured that one out. And then, honestly, Western Albemarle, I've told this to many coaches that I've talked to. I've coached for almost 18 years in different aspects, from varsity to college coach, under Clay Nunley at Randolph College. They're the toughest, most disciplined team I've ever coached against, period. And so part of the reason I scheduled them this year is, ultimately the region goes through those guys. And, the only way you can really prepare for those guys is to play them, because nobody else does anything similar to what they do. So they got up the first quarter against us last year. It was 23-5, and just smacked us in the mouth. And, my coming to the bench, it wasn't like, how do I change X and O's? No, it was just like, we got to tuck her down. And, I said, let's get into half at 12 points and third quarter at 7 points, just keep chipping away. And we did. And literally at we had a last second shot to win, and it didn't go in. But I loved how our guys battled back. But yeah, it certainly left a bad taste in our mouth. And I think it really helped us this offseason.
Coach, we kind of talked about this a little bit before you got on. You came from New Covenant, from the private school ranks. Was there a difference at all that you noticed right away from moving from the private school ranks to public schools last year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the one thing, the conference that we played in at New Covenant, it's got to be one of the better conferences in the state of Virginia. Every night you got Blue Ridge School, Miller School, Roanoke Catholic, North Cross, Carlisle School was loaded the year we won the state championship. Their best player just committed to Maryland, so our Boston College, excuse me. And so, every single night, especially at New Covenant, and I think Coach Hunter would agree with this. You're always going to have to try to win with less talent, and honestly, if there's anything that I really learned from Clay Nunley is how do I create a program to find ways to beat teams with more talent and minimize the talent gap, and we did, but you had to prepare every single night, and so. Obviously, now at LCA, we've got more talent. We've got more dudes to throw out there. And now it's, what's the best system for our guys? I'm always going to be a man-to-man defensive guy, but also you got to have some curveballs. And then, I've got a good problem to have is, I got 8, 9, 10 guys that I can play and not really miss a beat. So, and the other thing is I've learned that everybody wants to beat LCA when we walk in the gym. So, but yeah, I learned a few things for sure.
Coach, I'm gonna refer this to the guy below you there, Jay, and Jay, you've been on this team for 4 years now. This is your 4th year, being a senior this year. I noticed. I went back and looked at the records from your freshman year: 12-11, sophomore year 8-15. 7-7 in district, 6-8 in the district. What has transpired in the last year for you guys? And, what was the necessary changes that had to take place for you guys to be successful starting last year?
I think it was a big jump coming from, obviously, because starting freshman year, I was just trying to get minutes. So I wasn't really thinking team. And then sophomore year, I was good, but I didn't really know how to play with the team then. Really, when Klein came, opened my eyes because I knew we had graduated 10 seniors my sophomore year. So it was basically a whole new team. And Klein came in, he really he showed his belief in me because I was having speculations about transferring because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know who was coming in. And then after he came in, we just got to work. And defense really, our defense really tightened up compared to years past. Because we were already able to score, and then just honing on the defensive stuff, and then we brought in a lot of new guys, younger people that stepped up, and mixed up with his coaching is he always put us in the best position to win. Our workouts got tougher, so I remember freshman and sophomore year we didn't really go in the weight room. As soon as Klein came, that changed immediately. That was a big difference. We weren't getting pushed around. We started to play, but you see the schedule. Our out of conference schedule, that picked up. Competition. Our summer really picked up. We played 30-something games this summer. We're way ahead of the curve compared to years past. Because I remember we used to only do one team camp. Now it's just it's really a commitment. And I think that was really big for us to take the next step. Especially last year going 20-6. But I still feel we left some food on the table. We could have went a little bit further. But that's what this year's for. So I'm just that was really a big difference compared to the first two.
Coach, kind of a turnabout, roundabout question here. A lot of times coaches are stuck in their ways and they have an agenda and, past agendas and what have you, they have a style. When you left New Covenant and come to LCA, did you have to change your style or did you change anything about your coaching or was it still, this is Matt Klein's ideas and this is the way we're going to run our team?
Yeah, great question. My standards for the program and the guys and my expectations never wavered. I mean, it is what it is. I really don't know any better. I come from a family of a lot of coaches. Now they're all football coaches, so I'm the oddball, but discipline and commitment and, all that is going to be standard. But, I try to do my best to play with the type of cards that are dealt, right? And obviously we've got, guys like Jay that are truly gifted. And so we're going to play with a little bit more space, give them opportunity to get downhill, create as much single, double, and triple gaps as we can. I think we're one of the best shooting programs in the state of Virginia. We got 3, 4, 5 guys out on the floor right now that can knock it down. I mean, Jay's shooting 66% from 3. Colton Davis is shooting 57%, and on down. And so when you have a team, and I always go back to this, I think one of the ways to minimize that talent gap is your ability to shoot from outside. And so we can do that at a high clip. And last year against Brookville, we shot a school record of 15 threes. And so when we're shooting really well and we're defending well, we're tough to beat. And so, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to change on the fly, but at the core, we're going to be disciplined type of team.
All right, Jay, I get to play coach for just a moment. Okay. So Coach Klein won't mind for a minute anyway. So I noticed that, I'm kind of that doom and gloom guy. I check on numbers and everything. So, but the good thing is all your numbers are on an uptick from last year. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, last year you're number 1 on the team in points, number 2 in field goal percentage, number 1 in rebounds averaged and number of rebounds at 217 and 8.3. Number 3 in assists at 2.1 and total assists. I have to pick on you for just a moment. I hope Coach will bear with me just a second. There's only one thing I saw. Look, he's laughing already. So there's only one thing I see.
I know you're about to say.
You do? Okay. So I just wonder, you want to say it first or should I say it?
You say it.
I just curious. I mean, I'm just looking at 64% from the free throw line. I just wonder if we're going to shoot, 1,000 free throws a day and get that up a little bit or what. I just had to find something that was wrong with your game. That's all.
Yeah. I've been that really stuck with me looking back on the off season because I was looking at stuff missed out on. And I'm just bro, if I'm 80, that's just 2 more points average probably. In total, throughout the year. And I look back, because I really, look back, because the first 2 games, I started off bad from the free throw line. And it, improved. It really was worse, and it improved. But I never started bad. It would never got that low. And that just comes with, in the gym. I've been, every time I leave the gym now practice, I at least put up 25 to 50 free throws. I'm just sitting there. And just, reps. They're just rep stuff. I don't think I was really... last summer, I don't think I really focused on that as much as I needed to. I was looking to prove my outside game shooting, but if you can't make obviously you'll work out and then you won't think that you need to do free throws, but it's then the game comes get to you. So I gotta get more reps than that.
Jay, I want to ask you. So you're first team all region, first team all single district last year, 15.3 points per game last year. Did you achieve all the goals you wanted to achieve last year? And then what were your goals coming into your senior year as well?
Last year, I think that I set high expectations for myself. Obviously, I wanted to go to the state tournament. So I wanted to beat Western. But I'd say I'm glad where I went. My goals, I don't say I'd fully I feel I left some meat on the table, as far as we could have went. But I'm glad that we went through that because we know what it's like for this year. Because I think that's gonna be the thing that's gonna carry us and the team this year to go further than we did last year. Our record might not even say it before playoffs, but I promise you we're gonna be way more ready. With the teams we have to play now, and I'm gonna be way more polished for college. So that's really I didn't want to have a schedule where we just play easy cupcake teams. Everybody's just having a good day. That's not going to make us better. And it's not going to make me better. So I'm just glad. But big goal I got coming in this year, obviously, is going to states. I want to be in Richmond. Whether that's me averaging, obviously I want my stats to improve, but it's the team, if we're all playing good, if I'm playing good, the team's probably playing good too. We're all going to play good. And that's how we're going to get as far as we're going to go. So that's really Coach, my biggest goal.
Sorry, Jay. Coach, what's the philosophy behind such a demanding schedule? I mean, is it to prep for the state run or regional run or what have you? I mean, I noticed you're playing Bishop McGinnis, you're playing, New Covenant, you play Western Armor. I mean, you just come off the court with them basically back in the spring. So you're playing them twice. And You know, you playing in the North Side Invitational Tournament during the Christmas holidays. So what's the philosophy behind that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been, honestly, looking back, I'm like, did I do too much? But our kids are resilient, and I got a lot of competitors in the locker room that want to play against some of the best, and ultimately, if we want to do something that LCA has never seen before, put a banner up. We know there's going to be some talented teams in the way, and so I've got a good relationship with the coach from Miller School. I know what type of kids he brings in. They're going to have multiple Division I guys and with length, and then obviously I talked about Western Albemarle, the type of school or program coach runs. VES is going to be talented. New Covenant gave us everything they could. Bishop McGinnis will be a great opportunity at the Chance Harmon event. North Side Invitational. We did not play up to our potential last year, and our goal is to go win that thing. And hopefully see North Side, and then maybe North Cross. So we want to do everything we can to play against the best because we want to be the best. And sometimes. I was talking to one of my mentors the other day is, the concern with that is if you do lose a few games or too many games, what's the psyche of the program? And your culture's got to be really strong. And so hopefully I've done enough to get us to that point where it will only build us in the right direction. And we got good leadership. I know the guys in our program are going to keep battling and never going to waver, even if we lose a game here and there.
Well, one thing you did mention, I had a totally other question that I wanted to ask you, but you mentioned a term in that sentences, but bunch of sentences just a moment ago, length. So, you might be playing against a team with length. I looked at your roster, just kind of studied the heights and everything. I just looking to see, do you have that 6'8"? Do you have that 6'9" guy in the middle that you can go to? But I noticed that you can go, 6'4", 6'5" across all 5 players if you want to go that route. Is that something that you can take advantage of another team for, as far as maybe posting up or actually taking somebody outside and shooting over top of them? I mean, is that the LCA philosophy from here on?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, I think for the VHSL, certainly private schools can go get bigger kids, but we've got a lot of length, great height across the board. You got shooting guards like Trey Smith and Jay Bryant and Colton Davis that are 6'3", 6'4" across the board. So certainly offensively, that gives them a great advantage against some smaller guards. But really defensively is the thing that we can really swarm. We can get hands on the ball. We can go and get eliminate the second chance opportunities. And then, we've got a couple big kids that, and obviously Ed Jackson, I think will help too. But we've got a really good length. And the good thing about this is they're good bodies too. They're strong kids. Jay's an animal in the weight room, and the other guys are really bought into that too. But I think it's certainly going to give us an advantage in some teams.
I'll ask both of you this. How much better does it make LCA, and how much better does it make the Seminole District when basically everybody's good? I mean, I'm looking at last year's record. Glass is 13-1. You guys finished tied second with Heritage at 11-3, and then you got Rustburg and JF at 7-7. And I'm sure Brookville and Amherst and I'm sure Liberty are all going to be much improved this year. But how much better does it make you guys just in district? I mean, what a tough district is this.
Jay, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I'd say the district really is it's been on the upcoming, because I remember when I was a freshman, it was just Glass and Heritage. It's those the two. But now it's really up for grabs for anybody if you think about it, because it's just games. You might look at the last team in the district playing the worst, the best team. You'll be like, oh, they're going to win. It's a close game. This is anything can happen, especially in those rival games. I mean, people say we're rivals. We have 4 rivals. We have Glassdoor, Heritage, JF. We're everybody's rival. So it's we get everybody's best shot every night. So it's just it's definitely tougher than like most would expect, especially it being like just a public school district. But yeah, the competition is definitely there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd piggyback on that. I think what's really cool too is you got a lot of fun environments you're playing in every night, right? You got your local rivalries, and obviously because of who we are as a school and our mission as a faith-based school and a private school that plays in the VHSL, you're going to have your individuals that don't believe we should be a part of it, right? And I always go back to this, man. This is fuel to the fire. I love walking into the gym and everybody wanting to go at us. It makes it a lot easier to prepare because we got to know we go play X, Y, or Z. They want to beat you, and so. But the Seminole District is going to be really tough this year. I think there's much more balance than last year. We know the schools that are always going to be good, but I mean, you look at a Liberty; they've got a really good core coming back. Coach does a really good job. Brookfield always prepares really well. Rustburg gets the most out of their guys, and Amherst is really coming along. And we know the other schools that are going to be tough. So that's going to be fun. I mean, that's what you want. That's why you play the games, and you wouldn't want any differently.
Coach, this might be a bit of a taboo subject, but we interviewed Coach Rocco earlier this year, during football season, and he was very demonstrative. I don't think we really had to say a whole lot. He kind of brought it up himself, and it might be a little bit more demanding in football than it is basketball. I don't know, but the gyms are smaller in basketball than they are in football, the arena in football. What is how do you combat the person that comes up and says, "Oh, LCA is so good because they recruit. They can bring in whatever." How do you combat that message to those folks?
Well, I try to control what I can control, for one. And, ultimately, if people are going to worry about that over, did you prepare hard enough? Or, majority of the kids in our program have been there since elementary school. So, everybody's going to have an opinion, right? What I can tell you is our guys outwork other schools. They put in more time. I think we prepare better. And, whether you want to call it resources, I call it a school that understands the value of sport and team sports, and understand that it's the front porch of your school. And the better programs you have, the better, your school is going to be. And so, they're committed to having good coaches and good resources and good programs in place. And so, I don't bother. It doesn't bother me much. You see the Facebook comments, and I always say, well, that's why you're sitting behind a computer and not out there, right? So that's my 2 cents.
Coach, just on my expectations, preseason, you guys are ranked number 4 according to Matthew Hatfield there in all 3A or Class 3. I'm sorry. How do you coach going into those expectations for the season for this team and this roster, and also for Jay? It's kind of the same thing. When you have this high expectations, do you feel a heightened sense to improve your game or do more, or do you just kind of stick within the plan?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to kind of what we did last year, right? And obviously the guys that we have coming back, you always like to see that. You appreciate that. It means more eyes are on you, more teams want to take it to you. But ultimately, that preseason ranking or any rankings throughout the season doesn't get you to the destination you want to be. And so we've got to just keep preparing every single day. And again, going back to why I scheduled the way I did is it's okay to have a little bit of humble pie. It's the only way you get better. And so, we know that we're not going to go through the season undefeated. We're 1-1 already, right? And so we appreciate that. I think it shows that we've got a good crew in the locker room. But are we going to be connected, love each other, want to do everything for each other, or are we going to be divided and pull away if we lose a game or two? And hopefully, I've done a good enough job to make sure that we're the first.
Coach, I'm gonna ask you though. You guys got that win over New Covenant. I think at New Covenant, they won by 14, I believe. What was it like? That experience for you going back to your old school and getting that win? And was there any friendly rivalries there, or how'd that go for you?
We're on the record right now, right? It was a special game. I've got a great relationship with Coach Hunter. He was part of my program when we won the states, and and there's a lot of young men on that team that I've coached for a number of years and that I love, and so it was special in that sense. Obviously, there's some families that really appreciate everything I did for them. And, so it was emotional. And then obviously you tip and then you get rolling. Right. And now, did I want to win that game? No doubt about it. I told my wife, if I have to put my shoes on and get out there to make sure that we get a dub, then, we will. But yeah, it was really important. It was cool, during the national anthem, and I've got my son right next to me here, and I'm looking up at the flag and then the banner with our state championship, right? I mean, that's pretty special. We did some really cool things there, and I'll always have a fond memories of that school. And so, but yeah, I mean, we had to walk out and get a win. It's one of the bigger wins we'll have all season because of the way the point system works, and they're going to win a lot of games. Coach Hunter's got them rolling, and so yeah, it was special in a lot of ways.
Hey, Jay, welcome back. Listen, I know Coach Klein is going to tell you, don't look at the polls, don't look at the rankings. I know that's, but how does it make you feel when or you've got this publicized ranking out there that says, hey, you guys are number 3 or 4 in Class 3? I mean, how does that make you feel as a player?
I mean, it makes you like feel good because people expect highly of you, but I really take all that stuff with a grain of salt, and I'm not the type to be on Instagram looking, oh, we're ranked this or ranked that. Like, if you don't go out and play and win, it doesn't matter. Like, that goes for any team. Like, if you're unranked or ranked, so like, either way, you got to lace up, play. You can't really just look at it like that, because that's when you get complacent, and then you end up losing to teams that are ranked under you, and then it's like, oh, so they're just ranked for no reason. Like, and the motivational aspect, it makes you want to be better, get in the gym, because it's like you got expectations, you got shoes to fill. But I don't really hone in all my energy into that type of stuff. But obviously I want to be good. Yeah,
I got you. No doubt. And listen, you mentioned a couple things: motivation, fuel, stuff like that. 20 and what was it? 20 and 6 last year, I believe it was. It was only good enough for number 10 in the District 2 Sports Podcast poll. I wanted to let you know that. Maybe that's a little bit of bulletin board material, but I got some added bulletin board material because, listen, I fought. We had just had our very first poll. I fought the hardest I ever fought to put you guys at number 1, and I couldn't get you to number 1 because that guy up in the corner, he had to have Nelson County and Glass before y'all. So I just want to let you know, and he did say it was after your first loss to Western Admiral, which, hey, I guess there's slouches up there, but I just want to let you know you're only number 3 in the Super 10 podcast poll right now. So I hate to tell y'all that. I didn't want to tell you that to the end and before you left, but you got stuff to work on. I just wanted to let y'all both know that.
I think me and all the guys, we know that. But we know when it comes down to it, we get to those games that our teams ranked above us, we playing with a different type of fire. So it's like that. I like that type of stuff, because then other guys get motivated, it make you want to play. It's like, all right, because we know we could beat these teams. It's gotta go out and do it. So
I think three of us know that's a lie, and one of them, the person who said that, who didn't believe that was telling a lie. But
I might have watched that video.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Anyways, getting into a little bit of some recruiting stuff. So, Jay, talking about your recruitment process. I mean, you obviously got a lot of offers there from the D3 ODAC teams, but when did you start kind of getting some looks, offers? Was it like sophomore, junior year? And then kind of go into the process of like what made you choose Randolph-Macon? Like what was like the fit there? Was it just the play style, the school, the academics, or was it all the above?
So I got my first, like, Randolph-Macon was actually probably the one. I think they were the first school to really reach out and email back to coach. And I remember after them, like, a bunch of ODAC schools started rolling in. Lynchburg was actually the first. I forgot, yeah, because he seen me play. Coach Scott, he seen me play since like I was a freshman, because obviously they're right there. And then after I got the offer from Randolph-Macon, like a lot of ODAC schools like all started emailing back, texting back, reaching out, and I went on a number of like visits. And like at first it's like I didn't really know what to look for. I'm just like, I'm trying to go to college. I don't really know. I just want to play basketball. But then like you notice they all have like three different things, like the environment, the school life, and then like the coaching and how the players like act. And one thing that like stood out for Randolph-Macon besides like all the other schools is like me and coach made like a vision board, and like it had like stuff like school environment, team, players, culture, like all that stuff ranked. And it's like Randolph-Macon, if it wasn't the first, it was the second. Like on every single one, it was mostly the first. And like me and Coach Merkel, Coach Connor, like they reached out every day. That's one thing they did. It's like a lot of the schools, they would like apply pressure, like get me on the visit. Then like I might not hear back from them for a little bit, but Randolph-Macon always stayed in contact, stayed interested, and like they were coaching me up before I even committed to them. Like they were looking at my film from last year, telling me, and that like really meant a lot. And they won a lot. Coach Merkel is a good coach. I'm not sure how much longer Randolph-Macon really have him, because yeah. So I just wanted to play for a good coach, and I like the players. The overnight visit really did it for me, because it was like I really saw they were all chill, like fun. Because like outside of basketball, you have a bad day at practice, you still got schools. Like I feel like I could have like a good, like it's not even that far from home either. So it really was it for me after that.
Well, we talked to Coach Merkel the other night, and I was looking at his roster and kind of look at playing time wise. And I think he played a pretty deep roster. I think we saw where he has like 10 guys playing 10 more minutes. And we talked to Malcolm Hodges, who got a lot of run as a freshman. So I don't know if he's talked to you about this at all, but like seeing freshmen playing there, is that kind of piqued your interest even more? Maybe get some playing time there, get some experience. So when you get to be a sophomore, junior, or senior, you're ready to go and make a run to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I've watched every single game actually this year they played. I watched the Roanoke one last night, and the freshman, his name's Theardis Battle. He's like, I met him in the overnight visit. He came and hit some big shots against Roanoke. He's a freshman. He had like 10 points. And I'm seeing like a few other freshmen contribute off the bench too a lot. And I was like, oh wow, it's not like impossible. Like I know if you're good, you're gonna play, you're gonna get on the court. Right. And just like you gotta like lock in. So I was like, that's also something like I'm looking forward to that, and I'm glad because like the same freshmen that are playing right now, when I come, they're gonna be there too. So it's like I can learn a lot from them before I even go. So it's a good situation for me, really.
Coach, what role do you play in this whole process with not only Jay but all your players who maybe looking to play at the next level as far as recruitment process and talking to coaches and whatnot?
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet of each player that wants to play at the next level, and got the tabs and everything, and contacts for every college coach in Virginia, and then New England area, and so it's obviously it's a relationship between the high school coach, certainly your travel ball coach, and doing your best to highlight your young men. And I've known Merkel for a long while now, and we had some really deep conversations about Jay. And I think one of the things he was so bought in was just me telling him what type of kid Jay is. And obviously what you see in the court is proof in the pudding, but you want guys that impact the locker room in a positive way, and obviously that's Jay. He does that at our place right now, and but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty. I let the guys let me be a part of as much as they want, but in my opinion, most college coaches that really get it, they're reaching out to the high school coach to really do the vetting process. Like, let's talk about his best practices. Is he going to be a kid that's going to help and improve your locker room, or is he going to be a detriment? And I'm not saying I talk to every college coach, and that's fine. But I mean, the college coaches that reached out to me, typically I say those are the guys that are really doing the process the right way, in my opinion.
Coach and Jay, you jump in whenever you want to, but what is the philosophy, for each one of you, in the D3 process? And the reason why I ask this is, a lot of people down D3 for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why, because I can tell you this, and my boys, they laugh at me every time I say this. Every time I say this, I say the ODAC is the SEC of D3. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. We attended the ODAC tournament last year. We saw basically the semis and the finals. Every game came down to the last, basically 1 minute left to go, and it was still anybody's ball game. And Guilford actually has to come in. They have to win the tournament in order to go to the NCAA. So I think it's just a awesome league, for one thing. And for those out there that are thinking, hey, it's not the Division I or Division II level, what is y'all's philosophy behind that?
You want me to go first, Jay?
You go first, yeah.
So, I think I've got a unique perspective because I played D3 basketball, and then I actually coached it. Like I said, it was at Randolph College under Klein and Jisaiah for 3 years. And so, for me, these are kids that really, really love the game, man. You're paying to go to school, and certainly a lot of schools put packages together, but you're working just as hard as these other programs and not getting the money. And a lot of that, the programs are so ingrained in the school culture. And so, I just remember my time coaching at Randolph with Coach Nunley. I mean, us, going to the ODAC tournament as the 8th seed and making that run and losing to Lynchburg College in the championship game by a missed shot at the end. And that locker room, those kids loved each other. I mean, that was such an emotional scene. And what I'll tell you this is some of the best basketball minds in the world are D3 coaches. I mean, you should go to a practice under Clay Nunley. You will walk out of there hurting because it's just he's so good. And again, that's why I'm so honored to work under him and to learn under him. And I know Merkel's going to be the same way for Jay. And so. They get the best. They get the most out of their guys, and so I'm obviously a proponent of anybody playing any kind of college sports. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be a better man. You're going to be more attractive to job opportunities when you graduate. And talk about a fraternity. There's no better fraternity than a team sport, right? So, yes, I'm all in on it. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, not to piggyback too much off what he said, but it's really it. Like, a lot of people do knock on D3, but especially the ODAC, you gotta really sit there and watch the games and be like, wow, it's they're good. Like, some people think they could just walk in, D3 just cruise right through. I'm like, bro, they'd probably beat you. They definitely beat you. A lot of people have stuff to critique, and it's only 2%. Wherever it's a low percentage of high school athletes in general even get to play, even get the opportunity to play at any level. Whether it's NIA, D3, D2, D1, any of that. So it's just you gotta be humble. You gotta be humble and just know that it's not really easy how people try to make it seem. But especially with the ODAC, I was paying attention to how many teams from the tournament, like the conference, really get into the tournament. And I'm just like, bro, they pick like 3 or 4 teams from that one thing
Right.
every year. I'm just like, so the ODAX, it makes it better knowing you're going to the most like competitive probably in the country D3 like conference. So
and I don't know how much more exposure Randolph-Macon actually needs, with them. They're always in the limelight on just about every sport. I mean, women's basketball is awesome too. Men's program as well. They've been to the Final Four. They've won a national championship. And then the football team with Pedro, he's always got them in the hunt. So, but one of the things that I'm not sure if you guys are aware of, but, maybe I'm bringing something new to the table. Maybe you already know, but one thing that D3 is doing now is, and it's not all over the country, but the ODAC is in play. We interviewed Chris Keldorf, who actually runs Flow Sports, and they're streaming these games now, and it might not be as many people in the stands at this point in time, but you're still getting a lot of exposure through Flow Sports now. So I just wanted to let you guys know that you're going to always be in the limelight wherever you are in D3 now.
Yeah, actually, I got a membership from a buddy, and that's how I can watch every ODAC game now. I was sitting there watching the other night after it was a Friday. You could just, it's like a lot, like almost every single ODAC game is on there. So I was like, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you just love that for your young people. Say mom or dad can't get to a game. That there's exposure there, and what I think the other thing that people don't realize is these venues are really special. You walk into Roanoke College and tell me that's not one of the better venues in the country, right? Same thing with Randolph-Macon, and so the ODAC is special. I mean, I remember my first year we went and played Liberty University in an exhibition. And with 8 minutes left, we're only down by 4. That tells you. Now, they ultimately won by, I think, about 12 or something. But, it showed me that you got guys that really can compete, and then certainly how Nunley prepared those guys.
Yeah, that gym at Eastern Midnight is really special, too. Just want to plug that in there as well. So no reason at all.
Absolutely.
Last two for me. Coach, we obviously know about Jay Bryant, but you also have Colton Davis, Trey Smith, Luke, Mike, Miles. Just talk about your team in general. If someone had not seen your team play before, kind of talk about the players that you have and what kind of identity you want them to take on this year.
Yeah. We've got talented players. I'll tell you that. We've got good shooting guards. We've got unselfish players. I talk about, Trey Smith, super athletic, can shoot from outside, really gets downhill, but he's not selfish enough sometimes, right? And I told him, for you to be more selfish actually helps the team, right? And so, I mean, obviously it's a good problem to have, but you obviously you got Jay, Trey, and Colton as kind of your 3 core guys that were all seminal. They're all going to be first teamers this year. And Colton's playing big time. He's as clutch as it gets. Hits shots that he sometimes shoots some shots. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he knocks it down. I said, I told you to shoot that. But and obviously Jay's just playing really good ball right now. And then we got the 2 young guys that came up from JV last year, Miles and Luke, and they give us kind of a curveball with energy and athleticism and just activity. And Miles might be our best on with the ball creator off the bounce. Mike probably doesn't get enough love. He's playing extremely efficient right now. Strong as an ox, and just making plays. And, I can keep going on and on. Logan Carr has been a really good presence at the point guard right now position. Noah Beverly, it was one of the 3 JV guys that, he stands at 6'5", and then he puts his arms up. He's about 7'14". I mean, he's really long. So, and on and on. So, we got really good pieces. We got to keep doing this, obviously. But, we can go 8, 9, 10 guys right now, and I feel really good about it.
Coach, my mistake. I saw where Colton and and Mike are only juniors. I think you had a few more seniors on that team, so you have some talent going for a few years there. So that's awesome. And Jay, for you, same thing. If no one had seen you play, how would you describe your game?
Like just me individually.
Yeah, just you individually. How would you say what's your game? What you're doing out there?
I think that like I would probably say I'm versatile. I could do a lot of things. Like I could score off the bounce. I could get outside. I could pass. I could defend. And like you could really like you could put me anywhere. You could put me probably positions 2 through 5 and I'll be fine. Like in any like system. Because I can I can rebound, so it really cleans up a lot of the other stuff. Like you can put me anywhere, I'll produce something. I'll get you rebounds, I'll get you passes, I can score. It's like I really think versatility is what sets me apart, and I'm also 6'5", 6'4", so it's like that helps too, and athletic. So
I love it.
He's confident too.
Yeah,
I'm confident too.
He should be too. I mean, especially the points you're putting up. Big G, you have any more questions?
Yeah, I had one more, and I know we got to get these guys out of here. I figured we might get down in the doldrums a little bit. Go, that place under the oak barrel out there in the middle of the woods, the kind of where that moss grows under it. Jay, feel free. Just be honest. What does Coach need to work on? I mean, his dance moves. I mean, come on. What is it he's got to do to get better? I mean, just give us some dirt.
We hit on one of them dancing. He danced before. It's kind of scary. Or when he's joking with us. Nah, he can make us laugh though. He can make us laugh. I give him that. He's funny. I think Coach, he really gets on us, and like in the moment we'll get mad and think he's like being too hard, or like he just being like tough guy, or like just mean. But it's like we'll look after him like, well, he really just helped us out because you didn't listen to him. It's like a lot of growing moments we have like that. Like it's times when people on the team are like me too. Like I'll get mad. I'm like, Coach, like come on, Coach. I'm like have an attitude, and he's like, but it's like it's all for the best. It's like I think he's really good at using his ability to like speaking to us, like even if we're mad, like he's really good at like speaking to us and like really getting his point across. Maybe in the moment you might like be like, oh my gosh, why is he doing this? Like getting mad, but it's like I don't know. I really can't really say too many. I can't really say he needs to work on anything. He tries. At the end of the day, it's like he's a high school coach. He puts his whole time and effort, wakes up at 4 a.m. watching film on us when he could be like out with his family doing other things. So it's like that's all you can ask for from a coach. I can't.
Jay, I used to say the same thing about the meanness when I played for Big G back in the day. So I totally agree with what you're talking about.
You wouldn't be the podcaster that you are now, Gregory.
Well, I'll go ahead.
I was just going to add a couple comments. Talking with you guys, especially tonight. I mean, Coach, we spent a little time with you earlier this year, as I said, and I can see the Clay Nunley in you. Actually, I mean, we talked to Clay, earlier this year as well, and I can see that in him, in you as well. But I can see the cohesion between you and Jay, and I'm sure it's like that with all of your players. Much respect from my side of things, because you just don't see those kind of relationships stand out on a daily basis between coach and players. And, my hat's off to you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys play this year.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate that. It's an honor to be on here and showcase kind of who we are. But ultimately, this is always about the relationships. Yeah, I mean, we want to go win. We want to win as many games. But, speaking about the New Covenant game the other day, I had kids that graduated from there and came, and they're hugging me at the end, after the game, and that's what it's about, man. It really is seeing these young men grow up and be the best version of themselves, and hopefully, I've played a little small role in that, but that's what it's about. And testament to you guys, what a platform you guys have created to give young people like Jay to kind of share who they are, showcase their talents, and really hats off to you guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you to both of you. Listen, if y'all listen Wednesday, I will be trying very hard to get y'all to number 1 on Wednesday night. I will do everything I can. I just promise.
Keep us low, baby. Keep us low.
Let us upset.
If you have 1 minute there, Jay, I have a little special segment for you, and might be a little added pressure there with Coach Klein being on here with us. I don't know if you have a couple minutes for a couple more questions.
I'm good. Yeah. What's
All
up?
right,
All right.
so this is the rapid fire. So this is either or questions, okay? So I'm gonna give it to you, and there's a little added pressure with Coach Klein here, okay?
All right.
All right. Buzzer beater or blowout?
Uh,
Bars a
Like-
win. There we go.
oh, I'm taking a blowout.
There you go. Okay.
Taking a blowout every time.
Okay, I see. I agree with you. But our first two answers were buzzer beaters. I don't know why those kids like the anxiety, I guess, at the end. So I don't know. Conditioning weight room day or film room study day?
I'm gonna have to go with conditioning weight room.
Woo,
I just
really?
I just like getting stronger. But in film study, it's like something like, especially if you're getting picked on, you're like, all right. No. But
That's very true.
Yeah, I'm gonna take weight room.
Pull up jumper or drive to the rim?
Oh, well, I'm gonna drive to the rim more because mid-range jump shot is the worst shot in the game. But I love, like, in terms of beauty, I'm taking the mid-range jumper.
And we're going to get fouled this year, and we're going to increase our free throw percentage. There we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, just thought I'd throw that in there.
Man-to-man defense or zone?
Man, every day, man, absolutely, man.
All right, this one's been all over the place. So I think the older people probably have one option. I think the younger kids are going for the different option here. Powerade or Gatorade?
Oh,
Powerade.
See,
Wow.
I do not understand.
too much
Y'all like
sugar.
Gatorade? Y'all like Gatorade more than Powerade? No.
Yes.
I think Powerade has some influencers on Instagram, TikTok, whatever y'all want.
Blue Powerade is the best.
NIL, baby.
Trash talker or let your game do the talking for you?
Probably trash talking, but you can't let it get to an extent because
Really? Wow.
Nice. I like it.
Okay. All right. So ankle breaker crossover or poster dunk?
Dunk for sure.
All right. So this is so we've been asking this to the first two guys. This is more about some humility here. Humble yourself a little bit. Okay. Would you rather be dunked on or have your shot blocked into the stands?
Probably blocked into the stands because that's probably happened.
I was gonna say, because if you get dunked on, it's gonna be all over the internet, and you're like,
probably
wow.
blocked.
Yes.
Definitely blocked.
Pre-game meal.
I usually get Chick-fil-A, but I'm a sub person. We go to Tilly's. I always get the sub place by Chick-fil-A because it doesn't make my stomach hurt. Chick-fil-A, like fried food before a game is kind of crazy for me.
What are you getting, the number one?
Yeah, if I go to Chick-fil-A, I'm probably gonna get the number one no pickles, or I'm gonna get the market salad.
Okay.
Nice.
Really? All right. Last one here. This would be interesting. Pre-game music.
Probably. Well, it gotta be LCA approved, so probably. I'm gonna go with Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not approved.
A large number of Drake's approved compared to what people listen nowadays.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
NBA young boy is our number one answer. So that's all the young kids are talking about. So
Yeah.
Well, Jay, we'll keep up this. We'll keep up all year. We'll compare some answers at the end of the year and kind of release all that. But guys, like he was saying, I can't thank you guys for coming on. We've held you over for about 50 minutes now, so we do appreciate your time and
Appreciate you.
looking forward to seeing you guys play this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Coach Klein
Thank you, Jay.
and Jay Bryant there at LCA. Thank you guys.
Go get some rest, Jay.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
See you.